Oh, hello everyone. It's Susie, Crypto Granny here. The date is the 26th of October, 2022. Crikey, I think it's my sister-in-law's birthday in the next couple of days, and I better not forget actually. And in Europe at the moment, it's 18:56 p.m. So today, the cryptocurrency market looks pretty good to me, I've got to tell you, and I noticed it with risk markets, particularly the Dow. About a week and a half ago, it triple bottomed, and the Dow today got up to, according to the US indices, got up to 32,176, and we do find the cryptocurrency market at the moment has moved through that magic $1 trillion level. So currently the market cap is 1.019 trill, volume's up at 71.91 bill, which is quite a lot. Normally volume's about 35 bill, it's been very low. Liquidity's at 4.6655 bill, and Bitcoin dominance is 39.09%. Bitcoin at the moment is at 2754, has been higher actually, it's been about 2880 or something like that. Ethereum's at 1546, Binance is at 288, XRP is at 46, ADA at 40, Solana 3116, Matic 9377. And DOT at 644. I think DOT is one of the cheapest assets out there in terms of cryptocurrency land. There's quite a lot of cheap assets out there, really, really seriously cheap. Don't forget the cryptocurrency market in some specific coins is off about 60% compared to the Dow from its all-time high, which is only off about 13% now. So keep that in mind. But what got this market rallying, over the last couple of days, and I did see this particular rally. I'm very, very bullish cryptocurrency. I think the next couple of months is going to be huge for cryptocurrency. I see basically Bitcoin getting back to about $50,000 by the end of the year. Yes, I said it, $50,000 by the end of the year. So if you've got any assets that you've been buying with me since November of last year, just wait and see and watch and hold, because it's going to be extremely, extremely interesting and very exciting from here on and right till the end of the year. We're going to have, I believe, 2 months of big, big rallies, okay? Huge, huge rallies. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I've mentioned the Fed, the US Fed, in terms of interest rate policies and hikes, has gone way too hard. We're actually seeing it with the Bank of Canada today. They raised interest rates by 50 basis points. The market was expecting 70 basis points, but they took cash to 3.75% rather than 4%, okay? And that's simply because there's economic fundamentals are showing a lot of weakness, okay? And economic data has been showing a lot of weakness, particularly in the US, right? So the FOMC meeting is on the 1st and the 2nd of November, very soon, next week. But I don't believe they'll go 75 basis points. I believe they'll probably go 50, okay? And start paring back interest rate hikes. That's my honest belief in that. And, subsequently, the mortgages, the 30-year bond rate for mortgages has come back to about 7.15, but the US 10-year rate is still at 4.02. It's actually higher than the Aussie rate at 3.89. Aussie is normally a lot higher than the US, but the US rate is about 13 basis points higher. So it's a great spread trade. Buy the US 10-year and sell the Aussie 10-year for sure, and hedge for currency, clearly, because the US is selling off. But also, the interest rate curve has become very flat in the US. And, I think that's going to change also. We saw the fear index improve from 20 yesterday to 33 today. I've been buying in fear. I still believe this market. Crypto is not going away, just like Peng Zhao said from Binance. He's an absolute, mastermind, this guy, and he can see the bigger picture like I can. As I said before, there's some coin that should be over $1,000 per unit, and, one of them is XRP, BNB is another, Solana, many, many others, okay? Even Chainlink got up to about $70, and Chainlink's at $7. So, if you invest in anything, you're going to get at least 10 times reward for the risk, and I think the risk, you're getting paid properly for the risk, okay? The market is still off about 60%. And I do believe this cryptocurrency market, the technology is going nowhere. As Peng Zhao said from Binance, it's huge. More and more banks are doing, fiat markets in terms of blockchain technology. We're seeing it right across the board. And there's, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? Seriously, it really, really is. Now, I will go through the fiat market stats because that really, interest rates have really got this market going. But it's also, other market factors that have been weaker than what the market expected, particularly in the US. The US new home sales are down 10.9% month on month. Previously it was up 28%. Oil is starting to move up, but we've also seen that new mortgage rates, for home sales have literally come off so quickly, it's not funny, okay? The US advanced trade balance is still at negative 92.2 billion. We know the US is not basically earning any revenue. They're not selling any product overseas, which is really bad for their economic situation. And literally they're not earning the receipts, and they're not growing the job base for high wages, which is very concerning, I think. House price pressure in the US is actually coming down quite substantially. Month on month was down 0.7, but they're expecting 0.3. So we are starting to see the housing market come off quite quickly. We've seen the housing market in Australia come off really fast, particularly in specific areas like where I sold my house, Brunswick. My friend sent me something over, by WhatsApp. And, 2-bedroom Victorian terrace in Brunswick now, not terrace, but a Victorian building, 2-bedroom, I saw something, for private sale, like $750,000, which means the market's down about 300,000 in the space of like 3 months or so, which is a lot, okay? The market is too high, and I do think, like New Zealand, the market can come down very, very quickly. And I quoted some stats the other day about that. The housing market globally is the biggest problem, particularly in the US, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. But I will do a piece on this because I know a lot of you guys, my clients, are very interested in terms of the housing market. I've done that before. I still think overall the housing market's going to fall quite dramatically. Cryptocurrency market is the cheapest market of all the different markets, including fiat markets, and I think that's where the money is going to go. And we've seen that. We've seen some very large inflows which have been taken off the exchange into people's wallets, and now there's only about 2 million Bitcoin left, okay, which is not a lot, guys and girls. It's nothing when you think about it, okay. Seriously. The only caveat to that is leverage is quite high at 45%. Leverage has been increased, but look, it's really cheap to borrow money to invest in crypto at the moment. I mean, you can borrow money, at 5%, and invest with staking at 12 to 16%, on things like Nexo and everything else. It's just a no-brainer, right? Fair income, it really, really is. We had Aussie CPI came out on the 26th at 7.3%. They were expecting 7%. And that's probably pretty much a 32-year high, but I don't think we will not go as hard as the US have done in terms of rate hikes. It's just killing the economy, and I just don't believe Australia will do that as hard. Now, last night there was billions of dollars of traders that were liquidated, like 190,000 traders got liquidated last night. 1.43 billion of traders were liquidated, like going short. Why would you go short when the risk markets have been telling us, like the Dow, that there was a double bottom a couple of weeks ago, right? Where all the equity people saw that and they're all going long. And this is why you need to look at other risk markets, okay, fiat markets. There's no way I'd be selling Bitcoin when other risk markets like the Dow have made a double bottom. And that's what we saw on the dailies, right? So all those poor trades, 190,000, they don't seem to know that much because you do not short, excuse me, the cryptocurrency market when other risk markets have bottomed, right? It just tells you the cryptocurrency market is going to go up, right? There was massive liquidations on Bitcoin, 748 million, Ethereum, 578 million, 18 million ADA, and Chile Solano, 5 million, and lots of other things. But 190,000 traders got absolutely killed, right? And if you don't know your stuff, you don't know how the markets interrelate, you really need to go and get some education, seriously, because this costs you money. This is a basic thing, 101 trading. If other risk markets have bottomed, you don't go short the cryptocurrency market. It's just bloody stupid, I've got to tell you that. Fair income, really, really, really stupid. But anyway, that's what people do if they don't know much about markets, right? Anyway, look, I'm going to talk about cryptocurrency news. There's not a great deal of news, but I'm only focusing on the most important. So I can't, look at every piece of news. You can appreciate there's thousands and thousands. And we try to look mainly on the big drivers of these markets, okay? Now, like yesterday, the House of Commons voted to recognise crypto as a regulated financial instrument, which is good, but it doesn't state anything about whether they see them security or non-security. It's at least they're recognising them, probably with this new Prime Minister who seems, young and very enthusiastic Could be a good thing for England, who knows. Now, also, I mentioned this yesterday, Chainlink have got huge whales accumulating their crypto at the moment. Doesn't surprise me. Chainlink is seriously cheap. $7 or so, seriously cheap. This thing used to be at $60 odd, right, about a couple of years ago, right? Also, Chainlink are going to introduce staking by the end of the year. They've got a beta version in line. And this staking is going to give, stakers rewards for staking Chainlink on the network, but also give them rewards in terms of security assurance technologies and advanced reputation within that staking, which is almost like proof of authority, okay? So that's a great story for Chainlink if you can literally stake Chainlink and get returns for that. Plus the growth of the crypto. It's one of my favoured blue chip coins, I've got to tell you that. Let me just have a glass of water, guys. I've got this really bad throat and it's getting itchy and it's horrible. Chainlink's a beauty. Also, with this rally, we're seeing volatility reduce quite substantially in all risk markets, which is a great story, and that's what you want. So, looking at Binance came out and said with their Oracle network, they're going to integrate Web3 blockchain with smart chains, right? So this is really good, actually. I mean, Binance, again, is a $1,500 US dollar per coin story, right? At $289, it is cheap. So Binance has got about 10 projects they're integrating into Binance chain. And Binance also have launched a $500 million fund to support miners, right? At the moment, the mining hash rate is very high. It means there's a lot of competition. And as you know, miners were going broke previously because Bitcoin was going down. Okay, so Binance, good on them. They're supporting the miners when the miners' BTC hash rate is really high. Now, with a high hash rate, the market should be going up because it's more difficult to actually mine Bitcoin and it reduces the supply, okay, very easily, very quickly. So this Web3 and integration of smart chain to the Binance Oracle network gives people the availability to access data sources and advanced computations, okay? So it's basically decentralized apps. As I said, Binance has about 10 projects which have been integrated and that they're helping people launch different things on DApps and their Oracle network, which is great. Binance is there everywhere. It's just unbelievable. I absolutely love Binance. Fair income, I really do. It's an amazing story. Also, Binance, they're always getting into, partnerships with other people as well. Binance is, in partnership with a tech company which is called InSwitch. And this tech company is, they're a payment company, but also have infrastructure for on and off ramp services. And it will enable people to buy and sell cryptos very easily between themselves and Binance and other, people throughout Latin America. And this company called InSwitch, which is a financial services company, basically is in Latin America, and they're in 10 different countries within Latin America, which is great because Binance are really expanding in Latin America in a big way, okay? Now, also I mentioned about Western Union filing trademark for crypto yesterday and applications in Metaverse. We also find that PayPal did the same thing. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if both those companies set up cryptocurrency exchanges. It's very lucrative, as you can appreciate. If you've got a large client base like these two companies do, then they can sell cryptocurrency directly to their client base. And we see that with PayPal. PayPal are getting more into it all the time, just like MasterCard, okay? Now, Bitpay supports Polygon network. Bitpay merchants are now accepting Polygon payments. And the first merchant that was doing this was called Panini America, first merchant to accept Polygon payments. And Panini America is really interesting. It's a platform for NFTs, for trading cards, collectible world stickers, comics, and everything else. And I am a collector myself, and I look at this stuff a lot of the time because it's an alternative asset base. And Polygon-matic is killing it at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of stories out there that they might double their price. It is absolutely killing Ethereum at the moment. I think Ethereum, as you know, I think it's way overpriced for what it is, really. Now, the big story also today is Twitter. Musk knows that he's got to complete his Twitter transaction. It's got to be finalised by the 28th of October, which is this Friday. Otherwise, he's going to be sued, by Twitter and a few other people, the regulatory authorities, right? But Musk has come out on Twitter recently in the last couple of days, and he wants to create Twitter into a fully fledged Web3 platform with wallet integration. And I think this would be absolutely fabulous, right? You know, Twitter has a lot of people on that platform. I think I've seen figures anything from 3.5 billion to 5 billion accounts out of nearly 8 billion people living in the world, right? So it's going to give Musk a lot of traction. I mean, this guy's got about 102 million people that follow him on Twitter anyway, right? Now, if the deal goes through on the 28th, you know, I'll bring him out mind back to this. The Twitter deal was that Musk actually, it's a $44 billion deal. He offered $54.20 per share for Twitter. Currently, Twitter's at $52.78. So very close to what Musk is offering. Now, this is, as I said, it's a $44 billion deal, and apparently he's going to be financed by people investing in this deal. Binance, it looks like it's about 500 million from Binance, Quarter Investment Authority, which is one of the biggest investment authorities in the world, and Sequoia Capital as well. He's got some seriously heavy hitters behind this deal. Apparently he's going to be getting loans from Morgan Stanley, 2.5 billion, Bank of America and Barclays Bank. And he has another 3 or 4 banking partners that are going to support him on this deal. But the big thing about this, guys and girls, is if this happens and Mr. Musk decides to do this Web3 integration, have a wallet integration where you can make payments out of Twitter by just saying Susie Crew, whatever my email address is, and send it to me, just like our bank does or anything else, right? This is going to be huge, because on this, all he wants to use in terms of currency, the rumor is Bitcoin, XRP, and Dodge, right? And, you know, the thing is, he's against the SEC, just like Ripple are, and he's supporting Ripple. Elon Musk is with the SEC. So if this goes through on the 28th, I've got to tell you, this is huge for XRP. Absolutely huge, okay? You know, this guy is no nong. He's a very, very smart guy. Love him or hate him, but the fact is, you know, Twitter will be one of those payment situations where they're hitting everyone, you know, billions and billions of people, right? And it's via Web3, which is decentralized, and he's going to use XRP, Bitcoin, and Dodge. And XRP, as you know, is the fastest payment settlement network of technology in the world. So this is a big, big deal. Now, apparently the rumor is out there that he already has 13 billion from 4 large banking partners, right? So which means he's got to find, what is that? God, just a mere, my maths is terrible without a calculator. What have we got? 31 bill he needs to find. But I can imagine that, you know, even Quarter Investment, you know, Authority, who's huge, or Sequoia Capital, you know, they could even put 10 billion in themselves. I'm actually surprised Binance didn't put any more in than just 500 mil. But they might do that because it's such a great story. And I do believe Elon Musk will do this through Twitter, absolutely. And he wants Twitter to be like a freedom of speech thing as well. You know, people can say what they like on that platform and not get, you know, logged out of it, you know, or pushed off it like we saw a previous, you know, president of America, right? I think everyone's entitled to an opinion, as long as it's not, you know, horrendous or hurts people, or it's racist or misogynistic or whatever it might be, or anti-Semitic or whatever you might say, right? So I think that's a great story. Also, blockchain.com said they're going to launch a Visa debit card, which allows its users to pay in cryptocurrency or fiat. It's only being offered to the US client base at the moment, and there's going to be certain rewards with that. They've already got 50,000 people that want to get this card straight away. They're going to offer it to other countries in 2023, right? But just remember also FTX, the exchange we're invested in, Coinbase and BlockFi have also partnered with Visa to allow for debit cards, right, via Visa. Now, MasterCard is one of, obviously, Visa's biggest competitors. And MasterCard have got some huge, huge contacts and partners, which I described the other day, you know, and it's a big, big story. Also, Wise, which is used to be called TransferWise, which is a debit card, basically have now got a financial services license out of Estonia, which is great because there's a hint Wise might even set up an exchange-traded cryptocurrency exchange as well. So it's all happening in crypto space, right? Which is all bullish for crypto. Seriously, all bullish. Now, the other day I said Lionel Messi, who's one of the biggest soccer players, I think, out of Argentina, I don't know whether I said BitMax, but no, it turns out this guy is going to be the ambassador for Bitget, which is a cryptocurrency Singapore exchange, and they're big in Web3. Now, apparently this exchange in 48 different countries, and it has 1.6 million registered. Singapore is very strict when it comes to cryptocurrency exchange and regulation and clients, and they tend to seriously expand their exchange with Lionel Messi being the ambassador. So that's going to make that very interesting when we're talking about soccer finals and things like that. Now, Stone Ridge also launched an accelerator program for Bitcoin. As you know, Stone Ridge are an asset manager and they have a lot of money under management. They're also a subsidiary, this is really important, of New York Digital Investment Group. Now, New York Digital Investment Group are huge. They're regulated through the right regulatory authorities and the SEC and everything. They also, this crowd NYDIG, which is the owner of Stone Ridge, basically partnered with Deloitte back in 2022, June. And, it's just huge. These guys want to get big into cryptocurrency as well. They want to, with Stone Ridge, they're launching an accelerator program for Bitcoin, a new accelerator, startup accelerator called Wolf's Clothing, which is supporting Bitcoin-related apps, but also is supporting micropayments. They want teams to come on and work with them to create Bitcoin apps or D-apps or cash apps through the Bitcoin Lightning Network, which makes things a lot quicker. And they're offering up to 12 teams, anything from, $750,000 or more, right? This is big in itself because the company that's behind Stone Ridge is also huge and they're regulated. So this is a great story, and I think this is going to be great for cryptocurrency. It just gets more and more people into play, okay? And we know that Fidelity's out there, employing everyone at the moment. Seriously, this is big. And I think if the Twitter deal comes up, it's going to be huge. Also, we're still waiting for the SEC and XRP. And I think that will be the catalyst as well that's going to trigger this market into lofty highs. Now, I think, I'm on record for saying I do believe that Bitcoin could easily get to 50,000 by the end of the year. And I do believe that we're past the 1 trillion, which is still very cheap. The market should be at least at 2 trillion, 2.5 trillion. It is too cheap down here. Cryptocurrency at just over 1 trillion. That's a joke. I mean, this market has been off for 12 months, right? And this market could come back very, very fast. People are not long this market. They're short and they're just friggin' wrong, okay? Just like the equity market, they're short and they're friggin' wrong, Yes, people will take profit, in big rallies, but, I do believe the Dow can get to about 34,000, and I do believe the crypto market, by the end of the year, can get to 2.5 trillion, okay? I would not be short the risk markets for anything, because I do believe the central banks, the Fed particularly, they're just wrong. They're rate hiking too quickly, too hard. People can't even afford to eat. They can't afford to look after their animals. Look at the facts, please. These people sit in ivory towers. Look at the facts. People are bleeding, man. They are bleeding. And it's just a horrendous situation, right? I do believe, even if they don't start easing, the interest rate curve will go lower and lower because the figures that are coming off in terms of the economic stats are coming off so fast. It's not a joke. Now, for Australian property to fall from 1 million to 300,000 in the space of a couple of months, you know that the central banks of the world are just over rate hiking. In other words, they've gone too hard, too quick. And I'm a believer the bull is here already, okay? And it started when the equity markets, and I said this with the US Dow, did a double bottom on the daily. Check it out at 28,700. And it got double bottom 28,700, and ever since then it has actually gone up in price, and you cannot sell the cryptocurrency market when it's still off 60%. It is still so cheap. Anyway, that's enough for me, guys and girls. I've still got a bit of a sore throat, but I'm going to be doing some other stuff as well this week. So all interesting stuff coming out. Got lots to do, and I hope you're all well, and thank you very much for listening. And I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.